I've got 9 insane theories and reasons why Thor Love and Thunder will be the best MCU movie, and the last one will absolutely blow your mind. But let's get into number 1. Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be in this movie. Based on the ending of Endgame and the set photos of Chris Pratt and Chris Hemsworth, we know the Guardians are going to be in this movie. Now, we don't know how long they're going to be in it, but it's bound to make for some hilarious moments for sure. Hopefully, we get to see Star-Lord and Thor's beef continue too, because I really enjoyed that dynamic.
Just so you know, this is my ship still. I'm in charge.
I know, of course you are. Of course.
We should fight one another for the honor of leadership.
I personally think they're only going to be in the beginning of the movie before they go off on their own to meet some very special characters to set up Guardians 3, but I'm going to cover that in a later theory. Number 2 is Christian Bale is Gorr the Godbutcher.
Impressive. Very nice.
Now, we know this movie's going to be hilarious, but I'm glad we're getting such a dark and gruesome villain to balance it out a little bit. And I mean, we know this villain's going to be great because Christian Bale has never missed in a movie role ever in his entire career. So it's about time we get to see him in the MCU. Now, I've got a crazy theory about Gorr, but we're also going to get back to that in a later one too. Number 3 is Jane Foster returning as the mighty Thor. I'm really excited about this because Natalie Portman is a great actress, but in those first 2 Thor movies, she was absolutely wasted. And we've seen this being successful with Marvel lately and things like WandaVision, Spider-Man No Way Home. They're going back to old actors that played characters that maybe weren't treated the best by their scripts that they got, and now they're doing them right and doing them justice. So I think she's going to be amazing in this movie. Number 4, the director, Taika Waititi.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Korg. I'm kind of like the leader in here.
He has confirmed that this is a full-blown love story, which should be refreshing because while I'm not personally the biggest fan of romances, obviously it's still going to be an action comedy, but it's nice that we're going to get a little bit more of a focus on the romance aspect, because while there are tons of relationships in the MCU, it hasn't really been one of the main focuses of an entire movie before. And I can personally see this love story ending as a tragedy, but we'll have to wait and see. Number 5 is that this is going to keep the same vibe as Ragnarok, and I know some people thought the comedy in Ragnarok took away from the serious moments a bit too much, but other than that, the movie was absolutely amazing, and Taika Waititi really just saved Thor as a character and his franchise, because those first 2 movies are incredibly boring, and Ragnarok gave life to it, so I'm really glad we're going to be keeping that same tone. And Taika Waititi is a smart man who's done some really serious movies, so I think he'll learn and he'll know when to let the serious moments shine while also keeping up that pacing and comedy. Number 6 is Valkyrie getting a bigger role. Now, we know she's in charge of New Asgard, and the character is confirmed to be LGBTQ. I think it seems likely that in addition to Thor and Jane's relationship, we'll also get to see Valkyrie looking for a queen of New Asgard. If the movie's going to be a main theme of love, you're going to have more than just Jane and Thor. And hey, if they want to make a Jane Foster and Valkyrie love story, I'm not going to be complaining at all, so that's up to you, Marvel, but make the right decision here. Number 7 is the possibility of Thena and Star Fox, whose name is actually Eros, and the other Eternals showing up in this movie. And this is where I think the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to tie in. So like I said, I think they'll probably leave in the beginning or middle of the film. They'll get some call or have some other mission they got to go off, and then it won't really be explained. It'll just be a way for them to leave and the movie to become more about Thor, Jane, and Valkyrie. And then in the post-credit scene, I think it's likely that we see them meet up with these Eternals. And this is because, firstly, the introduction of Eros in Eternals just gave off Guardians of the Galaxy vibes. Just the whole tone and everything of it seems like it would fit really perfectly. And secondly, Eros is literally a word that means love, so why not have him show up in a movie titled Love and Thunder? Number 8, some of you guys probably aren't going to like this, but this might be the last solo movie from one of the original Avengers we ever get in the MCU, and it's going to be very bittersweet to see no matter how it ends. Iron Man and Black Widow are dead. Captain America and Hawkeye have been replaced, and Hulk is seemingly just going to be a side character in She-Hulk and other projects, so Thor is really all we have left of the original Avengers. And if you're wondering why I don't think we'll get a 5th Thor movie, let me explain with the next point. But before I get into that, drop a like and comment your best theory for Thor Love and Thunder below, and let's get to number 9, which is Gorr the Godbutcher kills Thor. Now let me explain myself. Firstly, his name is literally Godbutcher. He kills gods for a living and has killed Thor in the comics before. Now in the Mighty Thor comics, which the film is being adapted from, Jane's Mighty Thor is the character who dies, but we know the MCU likes to mix things up from the comics to keep it fresh and make sure people don't know exactly what's going to happen. And I also don't see them bringing back Jane into a bigger role just to immediately kill her off, because that would seem like a big waste. And also, this would fit the theme of our original Avengers being replaced with new versions, because as I've said, Sam has become Captain America, Kate Bishop has become Hawkeye, Yelena has become Black Widow. So I think this is likely the end for our beloved Thor. It will also give the movie an amazing emotional ending to balance out the comedic tone that I was talking about earlier. Now I know you love Marvel theories, so if you want to hear about Venom, Kingpin, and more in Spider-Man 4, watch my Spider-Man theory video right here, or check out my Marvel movie ranking. Thank you for watching.